case in the state parks employee up at Bodie State Park. All right. I did the case investigation up at Bodie. I'll describe it right after I go over some of the stuff. Next. So the theorized method of infection, primary method of infection, is an aerosolization of dust particles where a mouse has urinated or defecated and the virus gets onto other particles, and you sweep and you vacuum, or potentially maybe you take a bite of a cookie that a mouse ran over and urinated on. You know, this is one of the reasons we try and tell you to keep your food in a safe place and covered and sealed and everything. Okay. Now, got a big rain here. I mean, a big precip here, right? Yeah. Have you already had lots of mice? You know, they running rapid. Anybody? Yeah. Finding them where you live? I hope not. But the worst thing is going into. Okay, next slide. I'm sorry. Again, I saved the wrong. Okay. There should be a lot more dots on there. But for you new folks, check out the Eastern Sierra. There you are right now. You're in Haunted Central. Okay. Anywhere else in California, it's still a concern. But it's a concern that you're aware of. Here in Inyo National Counties, it's got to be in the forefront of your mind whenever you go to clean things up. Okay? Just know that. All right, next one. So we find sewer plugins anywhere from, sometimes I'll go trapping in some places and find no positive mouse. Sometimes I'll find every mouse positive. It just varies. We can't say when. We don't know why. Okay. But up here, a lot of positive ones. Next. Clinical symptoms. It's on my other slide. Headache. Remember this. Probably one of the worst headaches you'll ever have in your entire life, from what I've heard. That's what it'll feel like. And then you have a progression of fever and muscle. You know, again, like the flu. Okay. But again, you're in Mono County. You're in Haunted Central, summertime, you start getting sick, get treatment. On the Inyo National Forest a couple years back, one of the rec folks went into a pole barn, grabbed some stuff, she noticed the mouse feces, but was in a hurry, got sick about a week later. 1 and 1 made 2, didn't know anybody was sick, went to the hospital straight away, told the doctor, got symptomatic treatment. Quick. That's how you survive hantavirus. The faster you get symptomatic treatment, the better your chances of living. Okay. Next. So, what are the risk factors? Well, you're pretty much in the central zone for risk factors. Near mice and structures, it's almost impossible. If it's a 1/4 inch and a mouse's skull can fit through it, the rest of the mouse's body will get into that opening. Okay. So you've got to seal all the openings in the structures. Anytime, things are closed up like they were here for, what, 6 months, with all that snow. Again, the buildup of feces and urine, the virus particles from the mouse, leads to a much greater risk. The individual here in Mammoth thinks they got it from when they were raking the needles out from under the front porch. There's all this dust on the duct and everything. We say that outdoor exposure is extremely, extremely unlikely. I'm not going to discount in this case only because it was raking duct out from under the porch, which got no sunlight. So, yeah, no ultraviolet radiation in there. There could have been some risk from that. But there were mouse feces in the storage sheds too, so who knows? Okay, next. How do we prevent it? Obviously, through education. You're aware of it. You're here, you know about it, but it doesn't always work. And so you have to exclude the mice. You have to take the right precautions. When cleaning, you say a dust mask. A dust mask is better than nothing. An N95 is really the only, or better, is really the only approved type of respiratory device that, protection level to a full face respirator. Okay, and the reason is California folks folks, the OSHA folks in California, have come up with some new regulations for cleaning in haunt-infested areas. And I'm actually going over with Sean Thomas today, some of the JHA. Job has a notice for you folks. You're probably going to have to be mandated to wear an N95 if you're cleaning the structure or even just a mouse trap that's got a mouse in it. That's kind of what it looks like it's coming to. Okay, next slide. Oh, go back. Sorry. All right, so the fatal case patient up in Bodie. I went and investigated that. This poor guy, seasonal worker, and lived in his RV. And it was obvious that he had a very bad mouse infestation. There was a mouse nest under his bed. There were mouse feces in every drawer where there were canned foods and things like that. In the vents of his motorhome, okay, there were mouse feces. He just got complacent. Okay, just figured, you know, I'm tough. He's an ex-Marine. And he was in his late 50s. No, 60s, early 60s. Late 50s, early 60s. But there's no call for it. You know? Don't get complacent. Don't just shrug it off. It's a disease of very bad luck, but you don't know when you're going to have that bad luck. Okay. All right, next slide. Tick-borne diseases. There's actually a whole lot of them, okay? And fortunately up here, there's probably maybe 2 that you're really going to encounter. And Lyme disease is not one of them. But I'm going to cover it anyway because if you ever go down in the southern part of the Inyo, there are some canyons where there are some exodes ticks, so I will cover it. But there are other tick-borne diseases like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, babesiosis, relapsing fever. That's the big one we're going to talk about here. And then we have a couple different kinds of ticks. Anybody here from the East Coast? Are you new out here?
No, I've been here for 3 years.
So you know all about soft ticks. Okay, next slide. So, how many people have had ticks so far this year from walking around here? Anyone? Your dogs, or you or your dogs or your animals have picked up some ticks already? Okay. Honestly, I would love it if you save those ticks. I know that's the last thing going through your mind when you find a tick. Okay, I sympathize with you. But we don't have a very good map of the distribution of some species of ticks here in California, and we are continually trying to test for certain diseases that we really don't. We think there's a lot of disease that's not getting reported. People get sick, they go to a doctor, they get antibiotics. The doctor doesn't really know what's wrong. Okay, and so what we're trying to do is find at the baseline level really what species of ticks are out there and what are they carrying. Next slide. And let's go to the next one. Yeah, Lyme disease in California, very rare, actually. Okay, 1% of the ticks are infected, of the adult Ixodes ticks, the one that's most likely to latch on to. We don't have Ixodes here, except for the far southern end. Okay, there was one Ixodes tick, nymphal tick, found at Crestview. It's the only record in Mormon County of an Ixodes tick. Okay, and it was in a bird nest. So how did it get there? Probably, a migrating bird. It latched down on that bird, finally made its jump up here. And so probably even down south. Or possibly up north. So how do you avoid tick-borne diseases? Well, obviously, don't go hiking. Can't do that, right? Wear repellent. Okay. Light clothing is better. You have your Forest Service uniform. Pants are pretty dark. Okay. So wear repellent. All right. And let's see, do your daily tick check. That's really critical. If you've been out hiking, even though you have repellent on, do a tick check. And do it not just for that day, but do it for the next 2 days or 3 days. Okay? A lot of times, ticks don't always attach right away. Crawl around for a while. Or they'll sit somewhere and crawl around some more. And then, There's a lot of places you can't see yourself that kids do really like to latch onto. So when you take a shower, do a really good check on yourself. Next, before I have a friend or a spouse help you out. Pit removal. Lots and lots of old wives' tales, misconceptions.